This area many times before. I spent a lot of time in St. Bride's. This area used to be the area of London where they printed all the newspapers, and there used to be hundreds of people around here taking cocaine and fighting because newsprint people got coke out of their fucking board. I've met some of them. I don't approve of that. I don't like cocaine. I'm anti-drugs. I'm quite clean living. I have my vices. I get hot sometimes. I watch books that aren't quite books. They're concrete. I watch lights. I read crisp packets. I talk to strangers and guess if I've met them before. I have my vices, but cocaine ain't one of them. And Benedict knows that because I get hot sometimes inside of my face. Dinosaurs are great, but they're all dead, and that's not my fault. The crisp packets are different sizes, especially the steak one. Back to St. Bride's. I arrived and I met Mario. I was waiting outside. I didn't get allowed into it. I knew yet who's going to arrive. It was the choir. I got the choir above me, and I thought, where the fuck is the choir coming from? What beautiful song. And I did a little recording on my phone of this choir, and I thought, why have I recorded that? I'll never fucking listen to that again in my life. Pink into red, state card only, SPF bar. I'm pretty sure we've met before. You've got a friendly face. I'm a little bit hot into green. The Porsters New York trilogy. And I was listening to the choir and I was thinking, that is definitely not coming from the gig tonight. There's no way Stuart and Brian have got a choir on. It seems completely unlikely, but it's beautiful. I mean, we can like beautiful things as well as pretending not to play the viola. These things can happen at the same time. These things can happen at the same time. Benny just wanted me to scap. You just wanted me to scap on talking. Yeah, don't talk. You'll ruin it for me. Just like now, and I was like, hey, what are you laughing at? And they said, we really like your outfit. And I thought, well, it just goes to show you. If you're just nice to people, they'll surprise you sometimes. I'm sure we've met before. I'm a bit hot. And as I went up to these ladies, I said, what are you doing in the choir? We're new to the choir. I said, oh, is it very hierarchical? And they laughed and went, not really. I said, do you want to come down to an experimental music gig after you finish the choir rehearsal? And they said, what's experimental music? And I said, well, it's hard to explain. Let's just say it's different than your choir. It's a bit weird, atonal, but it's cool. You have to go down many stairs. And when you get to the bottom of the stairs, you'll find these strip lights. And if you don't like the music, you can just watch the the colours change, you get lost in the feeling. And there'll be a very charming introduction, and my friend's going to pretend not to play the viola, and he's very hot. He's quite a handsome chap too, if it happens to be that you are single. And they looked intrigued, and they said, don't be afraid of the conductor. He's the head of music at King's College, Cambridge. I said, well, that makes me extremely intimidated of the conductor. And they said, no, he's very nice. So I went up to that man and I said, you know, there's an experimental music gig after the choir rehearsal. Do you want to come down to it? And he said, oh, that sounds quite interesting. I said, would you announce it to the room? He said, after we're done, I'll announce it to the room and we'll come down to the experimental music gig. And not one of them has come. But I tried. I talked to him. I've forgotten his name, but he seemed distinguished. And I felt a little bit hot. And maybe the reason why he didn't come is because he could see in my eyes what you can all see now, which is an obsession with wine being knocked over, with Paul Auster's New York trilogy, with spending the summer in India, with recognizing you and feeling like I'm too hot. And they could see in my eyes the reflection of blue turning into red, and red still having the edges of blue, like some sort of strange caterpillar from the prehistoric era. I love dinosaurs, but they're dead. It has nothing to do with me. He could see in my face my longing for Goodison Park on the last day that people ever played there, with my dad's ashes scattered on the pitch illegally, and the feeling that Everton would never play there again, but the woman will. And thinking, well, that's nice, because people have the experience of going to Goodison Park and they go to see it in the stadium, but how many people go? Their average attendance is 2,000, and the stadium has historically held 49,000 people. I remember being there as a child with my extended family and thinking, what's going on? Why are people swearing so much? But Scousers, they just swear as though it's nothing. A swear word to a Scouser is like water. Did you dad or don't day? Why don't you fuck off, you fucking knob? And that, as a child, is extremely confusing. I'm looking at my dad like, why is people swearing, Dad? And he's like, I'm not your dad, I'm Benedict. I'm in the Beastie Boys, I'm in India, I'm in the summer, I'm getting too hot, I met you before. I'm worried. Why am I worried? Why am I anxious? I'm actually never anxious. It's weird how lacking in fucking fear I have. I have too much self-confidence. I just go up and talk to anybody and they sometimes misunderstand it. For example, sometimes I walk up to the conductor of King's College in Cambridge and say,
I'm drawn here, dazzled by the wastes of an unbuilt sky, vainly hoping it is somewhere else, or that the polished sea is familiar, and the pylons hum, as cliffs and spans of gold. silence is tender with trembling drops. Submarines bask. Thin wind skims pools. Dynamos hum. Summer